Namaste JVN. I JVN Tanushi Sani am here to deliver you a lecture on what are the duties of an advocate towards a client. I belong from Faculty of Law and Governance from Jayoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. So, let's begin. First duty is that advocate is always bound to accept the brief. That means if any person, if any client comes to an advocate with the case, so advocate is bound to accept it and prepare a fees and charge a reasonable fees. Then comes an advocate must not withdraw from his service. That is the duty of an advocate is to give proper treatment, to give sufficient cause, to draft a brief, to give time to his say client. He should not withdraw from any of them, and he should also appear on the proper date, proper time in the court of law, right? Now, advocate must not appear where he is a party. He himself is like he himself is interested in it. He himself is a witness in it. He should not appear in that cases in which an advocate is himself a witness. Then comes uh, like you must have heard that when we go to a doctor, there are like everything that we say to him regarding it. Now, what happens basically? Same way, there is a relation between a lawyer and an advocate and a client. That means uh, a client must share all the essential details, every big and every small details of the like details of uh, the case regarding the litigation file, cause of action, circumstances, what happened, what was the time, where are the proofs, everything to the advocate. Clear? Now, what happens after that? Advocate finds when advocates find that everything is worth it. In that situation, advocate can easily go and fight the case and plead for him. Then come he should always uphold the interest of the client. He should It's the duty of an advocate to do everything in which the interest of client is involved. He should not conceal, he should not hide the evidence that is much required. He should search for the evidence which will help the advocate to plead in the court of law. Then comes like whatever like whatever is the difference, whatever is the conversation held between that client and the advocate must never like the advocates must never say it to anyone else. Now, what happened? Advocate should also not be a party to instigate litigation. Advocate must not be a one in which he must instigate the litigation. Now, what happens? Advocate next should not act on the instruction of any other person other than his client or the client's authorized agent. That means an advocate should just apply his mind to that what he should plead, what he should say, what he should not say, but he should not act on the instruction of any other person. He should only listen to his client or to the person who is being appointed as a client, as an agent on the behalf of the client. Now, the advocate should also not receive interest in actionable claim, right? Then what happened? He should not bid or purchase any property arising of legal proceeding. Means suppose there is a property that is in dispute, so advocate must not uh, buy it or sell the property, or means in which legal proceedings are being involved. Advocate should never do it. ठीक है. Then comes an advocate should also never adjust against like advocate should not adjust his fees against any personal liability. What is the fees? Whatever is the fees of the advocate must be paid to him. It should not be adjusted against any personal liability. Now, what happened? He should take proper. Hmm, I'll say the advocate must take proper accounts, proper what were the incomes, what were the expenses made in drafting, in photo state, in printing, in everything. ठीक है. he should have a proper accounts, that what was the amount collected by the clients, what are the receipts, what when the necessary party has granted them receipts, right? Now what happens in that case, advocate should not also misuse or take advantage of a confidence respond in him by the client. That is, the advocate must also possess that if his client is trusting him or her completely, so in that cases, then advocate should never judge or should never take disadvantage of the trust of the client. Clear? Then what happens? Advocate must divert money from accounts. Advocate must divert the money from the accounts. Then he must intimate the clients on the amounts, and he should also provide the copy of an advocate. Provide the copy of the, say, litigation to the client. Now he should not lend money to his client, and he should also not appear for the party opposite party. Clear? Now comes what are the rules of an advocate to opponents, that what are the duties that an advocate must possess regarding opponents. He should not, first is he should not negotiate directly with the opposing party. He should not go and say like we should compromise, or we should not negotiate, we should negotiate. Suppose let's take an example, I'm Mr. A, you are Mr. B. ठीक है, I am the client of Mr. C and you are the client of Mr. D. uh, your client is Mr. D and my client is Mr. C. Now I should not directly come to Mr. D and say that yes, we should negotiate in these terms, we should compromise, we should not do directly, we should not directly go to them and say what we want. Now advocate must also carry out the legitimate promise made. What are the whatever are the promises made must be carried on by the advocate. Then comes what are the rules regarding fellow advocates, like what, who is in fellow advocate. Advocates, basically fellow advocates refers to those advocates who are our colleagues, who are working with us in the same field. So what happened, first is not advertise the work in any manner. We must not advertise our work like by circulars, by advertisement, by personal communication, by interviews, or by photographs, right? Then signboard and nameplate should also be considered regarding. We should not indicate that he is the president or he is the member of the bar council. Like we should not. I told you that there should not be a show of that. Yes, I am considering any authority. Now, then comes consent of fellow advocate to be appear. We should always require the consent of the advocates who are appearing. ठीक है, we should make basically a friendly atmosphere that yes, I am also appearing, you are also appearing, like it's okay. There should be a friendly atmosphere so that both the advocates, rather all the advocates, can work properly. Clear? So basically the difference is that we as an advocate must always act in a dignified manner, must always say that yes, in those conditions, this, and we should like provide fellow advocates and all this to them. So I guess the difference between advocate, lawyer, barrister, fellow advocates, opponent, duties of client, rules of an advocate towards opposite parties must be clear to you. For a basic conclusion, it's just like you have to act in a dignified manner. You know that you are being provided a designation term advocate. An advocate is a person who pleads, like we all say na, that doctor is everything for whom, for the persons who are the patients. It's corona time going on, we are badly trusting the doctors, blindly trusting, because we know that only they can save us, no one else can. Same way, it's it goes with the law advocates, because the person who is, say, involved in any crime comes to an advocate with an say with very bright future, with a trust, say with a trust that then advocate can definitely save us and he will save us. So it's our moral duty that if someone is coming to us, giving his or her case to us, relying on us, so in that case we should not only think about money, we should think that yes, a person's life is involved. We should also think about humanity. It's not only money that an advocate possesses. We must realize that who actually we are. We must know the strength of the designation advocate. Why this ADV is not only for any style or like any style. We are thinking it's just because it's a big responsibility. This advocate is not only a designation, it's a responsibility on us that only we have the right to let the party win or lose. L- like your argument basically can give any person a bail also, and your argument can give a person capital punishment also. It's how you plead, it's how you argue, it's how your case is being drafted. We all know that drafting is a very big essential that an advocate, like, there are three things basically: how you present, how you drafted your case, you filed a case, how you drafted it, then how you presented that court in the court of law. Like what, how strong your arguments are basically, and how are you presenting it, are the basic requirements that an advocate must know. That yes, he, these essentials can easily let the advocate win or lose the case. Because first is drafting, like how well you have drafted your case. Because in, if you have drafted your case so well, you know that what are the lacunas in it, what, when was the cause of action made, what was the thing regarding that. And if you have not drafted it properly, you will many times not be able to answer the questions asked by the judge, because you never know that from where your which line will be tilted and you will be blank. So before drafting, we must have each and every big and small knowledge of the case, so that it it throws a very good impact of our image on the judge, that yes, a person is well prepared and is too confident. And that's why, and by using the principle of natural justice, that the decision must be fair, reasonable and just. Rather just, fair and reasonable, the judge gives his or her decision on the certain topic, and either turn the accused into an acquit, or a term turn the accused in the term in as a convict. We all know that an acquit and convict is one more thing. A accused or a person who is not present, who is not being termed as in guilty. An accused until proved guilty cannot be termed as a criminal. Accused is a person on whom allegations are made. Accused is not the person on whom who has been proved, like who has been proved criminal. No. So until, and one more thing, we all know that there is one law that many times we can leave the criminals, but we should not sue, or we should not give punishment to any of the innocent person. Because like it's very difficult for a judge to give a decision, because the whole life of the party involved, the families, the life of the families are being either destroyed or are being constructed. So uh, the judge who is sitting on the chair is not merely a designation, it's a big responsibility. It's like they are giving the decision of the judge, they are giving the decision of lives of other people. So it's a very big responsibility that any person should not do anything wrong. Like any judge should not give a decision that directly indirectly harms the parties. He should give a decision which is fair, just and in the interest of public. uh, So I think the concept must be clear to you. Thank you.